Now we can see the definition of derivation. Derivation means the process of obtaining string of terminals from non-terminals. It may be star symbol or any other non-terminal. For example, if you see, we can have A tends to alpha, beta, gamma, or A tends to alpha, beta, gamma, or some other else. This is known as derivation. This derivation is of three types. One is one-step derivation. Another one, at least there will be only one production. We can derive from any productions. Okay. If you derive using only one production, that derivation is known as one-step derivation. At least one should be there. That is can be represented as A positive closure alpha, beta, gamma. If there is any number or without any production means that is known as A star pre-closure alpha, beta, gamma. Next we can see what is leftmost derivation. The derivation may be classified into leftmost derivation and rightmost derivation. Based upon the thing is that in the derivation process, if a leftmost variable is replaced, that is leftmost variable is replaced means that derivation is known as leftmost derivation. If you see the example here, E plus E, in this thing, this E is the leftmost, we are deriving from this. So first we are going to replace the leftmost letter non-terminal with the terminal. Then afterwards we are going to expand or replace the remaining things. So this is known as leftmost derivation. Next we can see rightmost derivation. In the rightmost derivation, if the rightmost non-terminal is replaced first means, then it is known as rightmost derivation. You see here, E tends to E plus E. In this, the rightmost E is replaced first by E star E, then it is replaced by ID likewise. If you see the leftmost, here the left E is replaced by the terminal symbol. So this is the difference between leftmost and rightmost. Afterwards, we can represent this derivation in the form graph, that is known as tree. Parse tree. Parse tree is nothing but diagrammatic representation of the derivations. So mostly leftmost derivation will be considered in case of parse tree. Here the first E is replaced by E plus E. Then again this E is replaced by ID. Then this E is expanded as E star E. Finally you can get the equation in this manner, ID plus ID star ID. Ambiguous grammar. A grammar G is ambiguous if and only if there exists one string such that if it has one or two parse tree for it. Okay. Now we can see the example. For this example, these are the productions. There are totally 6 productions are there. Based on this production, we can have the two leftmost derivations. Okay. First derivation is, first we are taking the production E tends to E plus E. Now we are going to expand. We should have this final thing. So we are applying each and every production here, and we are finally getting this. This is one type of leftmost derivation. Already I have told what is leftmost derivation. Leftmost derivation means in the left hand side we will derive, that is starting the derivation from the leftmost non-terminal. So here we are starting from here and we are getting this ID plus ID star ID. Next we can try if there is any more leftmost derivation to derive this same string. Okay. Now we can take the production E star E. Okay. From this, what we have to do, we can replace again the leftmost E with the E plus E, then star E. Afterwards we can replace each and everything, each non-terminal by the terminal. Finally we get the same string. So for one string there exist two leftmost derivations. Also we are having two leftmost parse trees for the similar string. Such grammar is known as ambiguous grammar. We can see the parse tree for this corresponding production. That is, first we are using the production E plus E. Afterwards we are replacing this E by the ID. Finally we are replacing these E's by ID. So we are getting the string ID plus ID star ID. Again there is also another chance of parse tree leftmost. Here we are starting from the E star E and we are deriving, we are getting the string the same ID plus ID star ID. So this is known as ambiguous grammar, a grammar which is having more than two leftmost or rightmost derivation, also to one or more parse tree. Now we can see some of the examples how we can generate language from a given grammar. Okay, first we can see sigma is AB. The grammar, we have to generate a grammar for set of all palindromes generated over the sigma. Here they are given sigma is AB. So we can see the answer. As it is AB, we can have the epsilon also as a production. So epsilon is a palindrome. If you consider this, the corresponding production will be S tends to epsilon. Next, A and B already given. So A and B are palindromes means the corresponding production will be S tends to A or B. Now we can consider a string based upon the AB. If W is a palindrome, then the string AWA and the string BWB are palindromes. As they have given AB are palindrome, the string formed by the same is also a palindrome. Here if we consider palindrome is what? If we reverse, it gives the same string. So AWA, if we reverse it, it will give AWA. If BWB, if we reverse it, it gives BWB. So the corresponding productions will be S tends to ASA. That W is replaced by capital S. Here also the W is replaced by the capital S. So these are the possible three productions. S tends to epsilon, S tends to ARB, S tends to ASA, or S tends to BSB. So therefore the grammar to generate the strings of palindromes over the sigma is given by the grammar G equal to VTPS. This is the general formula for the grammar. So what is V means? V will be the variables. So here S, T will be the terminals. Here A, B. Next PV stands for productions. Now we can see the three definitions. S tends to epsilon, S tends to ARB, and S tends to ASA, BSB will be the three productions. So this will be the P. So S is the start symbol. Next we can see another example for generating language by the grammar. S tends to 0A or epsilon, A tends to 1S. So from the production we can come to the conclusion the terminals are 0, 1 and epsilon. Non-terminals capital A and capital S. So now we can derive the grammar. S tends to, we can derive anything, we can replace anything, and we can derive a set of string. Here by deriving this, by applying the rules, these productions, I have derived 0, 1, 0, sorry 0, 1, 0, 1. This will be the final string. From this we can come to the conclusion the language derived by this grammar is W, where W is a subset of 0, 1. Already we know that I have told 0 and 1 are terminals. So the string of terminal 0, 1 closure, or this can be rewritten as language generated as 0, 1 power n, where n is greater than or equal to 0. This is another example for ambiguous grammar. This is the given grammar has two productions. So three productions we have to derive. We have to verify whether there is more than one derivation and more than one parse tree for this particular grammar. If it is so, then it is known as ambiguous grammar. Okay, first we can see the possible leftmost derivation. We have to derive the string AA, BA, BB. So from the above productions, we have taken the first production and identifying this. The S is replaced by the again first production. In the third time, the S is replaced by the second production. Afterwards, each S is replaced by the epsilon, and finally we are getting the string AA, BA, BB. Okay, so this is the corresponding parse tree. So here first S is replaced by first production in the first case, and also in the second time the first production the S is replaced by the first production. Afterwards all the S is replaced by the epsilon. So we get the final string. We have to check whether another possible of leftmost derivation. This is leftmost derivation 2. In this case, we are taking the first production. Here also we are taking the first production. Here afterwards we are second production. Afterwards, each and every time is replaced by the epsilon. We are getting the string, corresponding string. Here, if we see, here we are replacing this by the first production. Instead of this, we are replacing the first yes and we are getting this, and afterwards we are replacing the epsilon. So there are two possible past trees and two possible derivations, hence it is known as ambiguous grammar.